Hey friends, how's it going? So in this lesson, I want to do a quick little exploration of some very simple, approachable, bluesy bass line motifs that you can sort of explore and have fun with in the key of A, right? So we're going to be looking at the chords of A, D, and E. So I'm going to show you how by adding just your index finger and your ring finger to the basic 2-note version of these 3 chords, you can add lots of fun, bluesy, bass line, walk up, walk downs, tap into some very recognizable sounds, and also just improvise. And whether you want to strum or finger pick or just noodle around with simple bass lines, it's a really fun way to have some fun, especially if you're getting started with the blues or just want to sort of play around with that general style, right? So check out the PDF I wrote up for this. It shows these sort of fretboard mappings I'm talking about. And this is real beginner-friendly stuff. It's only using a few fingers. I'm going to talk about some just easy ways to minimize the hardness of the stretching, right, which can be tough at first, but lots of good stuff to come. So let's get on into this lesson and have some fun. All right, so the first part of this exercise is just going to be learning the basic power chords, right, that we're going to use for the A, for the D, and for the E, right? So what this is basically doing is taking the thickest 2 notes from the regular chords of the A major, right, from D, D major, and an E major chord, right? If we take those chords, which is the 1, 4, 5 in the key of A, right? And we just take the thickest 2 strings from each of the chords, we get this. Okay, so the cool thing about this is you're going to use just one finger on your left hand, your index finger, to play the note on each of these chords, right? So the A is going to be the open 5th string, and then the 2nd fret on the 4th string, right? So just play the 5th and the 4th string. Now for the D, all you're going to do is move your index finger down a string, so it's on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and we play the 4th string open. Okay, it's a D power chord, right? And then for the E, we're just going to do the same thing, but jump to the 6th and 5th string. Okay, so we have the A, and the D, and the E, right? Now this isn't too exciting by itself. You could play any song that uses just these 3 chords. You could play with these power chords. It's not going to sound too rich, but here's where we're going to start adding stuff, okay? So the next part is going to be this. We're going to take that power chord that we just learned, and we're going to add our left ring finger. And all we're going to do is move it on the same string as our index finger, just up 2 frets, okay? So we're going from this, for an A chord, to this. And practice going back and forth. Right? And same thing for the D. You take your D power chord, wherever your index finger is, you just add your ring finger 2 frets up. Back to the A, right? And same thing for the E. And then back to the D, okay? Or back to the A, that is. So just with those, that little note right there, you could start to add in a bunch of things that might sound like familiar bluesy kind of motifs to you, right? Like this. Right? You get the idea, right? I was doing a bit of a palm mute there to add some sort of subtle effect. But that's the next part, right? It's what I just told you. Take the power chord and then add your ring finger on the 4th fret, right? The same string as your index finger. Now, let's take it one step further. The next thing we can do is we're going to just stay in the realm of our index and our ring finger. And what we're going to do here is add another note. This one's going to be our ring finger again. And it's going to be on the 4th fret again, right? But it's going to be the same string that's open, right? That we're not pushing down. So for the A, we start with this power chord. We're going to put our ring finger down on the same string that's open, which is the 5th string now, but on the 4th fret. Okay, this is the root up to the 3rd. And then we're going to go to the 5th, and then to that 6th tone that I just showed you before, right? So... do that same 4-note pattern for each of the 3 chords. So for the D, we just start on the 4th string. Right? Again, so it's 2 plucks on the 4th string in this case, and then 2 plucks on the 3rd string. The A is 2 plucks on the 5th string, and then 2 plucks on the 4th string. Right? And the E, 2 plucks on the 6th string, and then 2 plucks on the 5th string. Now, again, you could add all kinds of different, rhythmic approaches to this to make it sound unique, right? So the Bruce Springsteen song Johnny 99, it's on his album Nebraska. It kind of has this riff, right? It's using these 3 chords. That's one other one you can do, right? Now let's take it a little bit further still. Here what we're going to do is add our pinky on the same string that our index finger starts on. So we're going to go from this to this to this and back down, right? Same for the D. And the E. And back to the A. All right, so that's the next one we could do. And that one's cool because you could do this sort of familiar riff too, right? Now that we have all these notes. All right, so there we go. So the idea here is taking just 2 or 3 notes that you can add to a power chord. We're only using our index finger and our ring finger, and we're able to just noodle around, right, in this sort of bluesy A, D, E sound, where you can just be worrying about a bass line. Or you could get strummy, right? And I'm messing up, but that's the idea, is you have fun, you practice. So I've been playing around with this the last few days. It's been pretty fun. I've been learning Bruce Springsteen's Johnny 99 and Open All Night. Both those songs are from Nebraska. It's a fantastic album, and those 2 songs are just solo him, solo guitar. They're probably my favorite of his songs, or in my top handful at least. But I wanted to share with you this little map of the fretboard and how you can apply it to these 2 string chords and have a lot of fun. And then if you're watching this far, the extra credit tip I'll give you that is really cool is you're going to notice this is kind of a stretch on your index and your ring and maybe even your pinky finger. But if you want to reduce that stretch, what you can do is take a capo, right? And then you can basically add that anywhere. Do like the 5th fret. And what this is going to do is you just play exactly what I just showed you, but it's going to give us smaller fret distances up here, right? These frets are a lot less wide than these are. And what that does is it means there's less of a reach for your fingers over here, right? So you can do the same thing I just showed you. Right, so this reach is much easier than doing that same thing over here, right? And it's just, it makes it funner to play. It makes it less painful to play. If you suffer from RSI or any kind of just hand pain or just size issues or any guitar issues, this is a great trick. It can just make things easier for you, and that's the name of the game sometimes. So, hey, I wanted to share this with you. Again, check out the little write-up I did for my PDF on this one, and you can get the sort of map for yourself to follow along with. But I wanted to share. Thanks for watching, y'all, and check out the rest of my stuff if you dig this one. But have a good one wherever you are. Bye-bye.